Hey, I'm Pops, and I want to talk about Last of Us Episode 5. And for those of you who don't know, not a gamer, don't know anything about the game, feel free to put your comments in, what I should or shouldn't know. I got to be honest, Episode 5 is the best episode to date, even better than the first one. I couldn't believe how they just quickly just expanded their universe and made interesting characters. And they took I still have issues, which we'll get to, but this is a lot about Henry and Sam, and it kind of creates a lot more information in this whole little world. And I do have some issues with how they approach it, but as far as the show goes, this was a good step forward for a lot of characters, and I really, really enjoyed that. So the backstory is interesting in the fact of there's a lot of conversation about what had happened with Fedra and taking over, and the fact that they've been gathering and torturing people for basically like 20 years. Like that was very quickly inserted. And I will say that does help build the universe. Like you start to understand where people are coming from. What I don't get, Kathleen, right? So she's the female leader of this revolutionary group that have kind of taken control. They've ousted the Fedra, and now they're looking for all the informers, right? And that you have the doctor who had hidden Henry and Sam in an attic. And Henry and Sam have a great little backstory of because he was ill. Sam was ill. He's deaf, had leukemia, had to get a certain kind of med. So Henry had to make an awful decision, had to basically turn his mentor, a role model, over to Fedra to get this medicine to save Sam. And it turns out that person is Kathleen's brother. Now, it's very clunky with how they explained all that. And here's my problem. Kathleen is still just a stupid, angry revolutionist. So she's just like, it's like listening to the woman that is throwing a tantrum in a Target, but not actually yelling. Like she's really mad and she really wants to talk to the manager, and she's really mad that someone didn't stock a certain type of pantyhose that she always buys, and they're always there, but they're not there right now. And she's taking issue because she came in with her coupon and she doesn't understand why she can't get a rain check. But she's not going to yell because she doesn't want to make a scene because she's an idiot. That's how I see Kathleen. She thinks she's smart, and I have no understanding on why all of these people follow her. Perry is this kick butt military tactician. He's very clever and thoughtful about different scenarios. I have no idea why he doesn't just pop her off. Like this makes no sense in the grand scheme of the apocalyptic worlds and survival of the fittest and how things would kind of play out. And they never ever explain that why she's actually on top of the mountain and not all of these other people who would basically be able to just take her out. Makes no sense to me at all. So I'm completely naive to the game, so I'm sure you guys will help me out. Now, the backstory moves pretty quick, and it's fine. It does at least give us enough information to bond to Henry and Sam as an audience member. And then when we're in real time, things do move very quickly, with the tension between Joel and Ellie and them, and Ellie becoming super bonded to Sam very, very quickly. They're kids just wanting to have fun, reading comic books, cutting up, making jokes, doing their kind of thing. And Henry is presumably more clever than he thinks he is. I don't know. They have their plan to go through a tunnel, go through a bank into a tunnel. They come out the other side. It's not going to go well, right? They do fine because they manufacture a reason for them to take a pause in this like daycare area that's in this bank. And then that allows us to have a lot of conversation to understand the backstory that I was talking about now. And then, of course, they cut that to Kathleen, who's in this like her childhood room with the brother, and we get the other piece of it. It's fine. It's a lot of talking and not showing. So I never got as invested as I could have gotten, but it's not terrible either. So Ellie is just inconsistent. So when they're walking after those scenes and she's just acting all weird and goofy and, I'll just irritate Joel to get him to do it. I'm like, what? Why are we all inconsistent with this? Does she want to be an adult? Does she want to be a child? And I get with her playing with Sam. That's fine. It's very sisterly. But the way that she went right back into that role was very strange. Anyway, so there's a little shootout because there's this old man taking pot shots at him from one of the house. She's connected to Kathleen's group who are now approaching, and that's all going to end very badly for everyone because she's just obsessed with killing Henry and now everyone associated with Henry. And she just has these random lines of anger and fits or whatever, but they feel like they're going to do things, and then it's just literally like this random plot armor moment where suddenly the snowplow, because Joel does eventually kill the person, but then just falls into like a cave in. You're like, what is happening? Like, it was all very sudden and abrupt. And so even with this episode, as good as it is, this is why this is not some sort of like 10, the best episode ever or whatever. It's like, things just happen for no explanation. We have no idea. We have that a little allusion to the little caved in crater looking thing earlier, and it moves. So I guess we, the audience, are just supposed to put that together. That's what happens, because then when it all happens, these giant the creatures all come out. Obviously, the big creature comes out at the end. And Perry is even willing to sacrifice this even at this point, right? We get another clicker. We get really cool stuff. And it all goes really, really well. I actually like all that. And I like the fact that they all agree they're going to go to Wyoming. And all of this group is pretty much gone, which is weird because they don't ever pause. If so much of the group is gone, even though there's infected, it seems like you would try to circle back through town and gather resources before you head to Wyoming. But maybe they thought they would just run into other people that'd be a threat too, but that's fine. And then it was like, I hate shows where there's no talking. We keep secrets, and that's the only way to make the plot point move. So Sam tells Ellie, or shows the bite after talking about being scared, and she just cuts her hand, tries to put her blood on him like she's magic. That's not how this works. That's not how you would make a vaccine. That's not how you would do things. As a kid, I can see them thinking that. So that actually is fine. But then whenever he's transformed and you have this horrible, tragic, Henry has to kill Sam, and then he kills himself and all that. And then, of course, Ellie has this emotional I'm sorry thing on his little sketchpad thing. This was a very emotionally well-written episode to create a lot of emotion in you, getting attached to characters and having them ripped away. I just have to continue question, why are we having characters that become so expendable? It's like, I'm supposed to get attached to Kathleen as a villain, maybe Perry as her sidekick, Henry, Sam, the doctor, whatever. I'm supposed to be attached to characters, and then as fast as they are introduced, they're killed off. So I don't know how long you can keep playing that card before it becomes like M. Night Shyamalan. I just know that's what's going to happen. Therefore, there's no actual effect, right? And I got to be honest, it never really works for me. Kathleen is being this 100% vengeance girl in his little quiet demeanor, whatever. She's just a grief monster. And she has this horrible line about Henry. It's like, well, kids die all the time. Maybe it was his time to die. It's like, okay, you're arguing that your brother who said forgive them. I mean, literally, you have like a Jesus moment of him saying, like, forgive them. They don't know what they do. It's okay. I understand the sacrifice they're making for medicine. And she can't let it go. It's okay. She's wishing death on this child. Oh, it's such a weird proxy move for a villain. Like, it doesn't create enough of a linear line for like a Thanos villain type thing. Like a villain that has so much personal investment on why they're evil or why they think they're good. She does not think she's good. She is just a complete grief monster trying to just enact vengeance on somebody. So anyway, that's my take. Tell me what you guys think. I'm Pops. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.